SoFi investors, let me ask you a very serious question. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You go ahead and look at your cell phone, maybe your laptop, your tablet, whatever you use to view your stock profile, and you see that SoFi is up by 5%, and then you carry on with your day. Maybe you're at your job, maybe you're traveling to your job, depending what time zone that you are in. Maybe you're just getting out of bed, but then you go ahead and look at it about 30 minutes later, and you say, hey, hold on one second, we were up by 5%, and kabam! On this glorious happy Friday, the 5% that we were up is now maybe up by 1% and is fighting for its life. What is going on? And is this very natural and very annoying? Well, believe it or not, it is incredibly very annoying and also very, very incredibly natural. This stuff happens all the times, and this stuff irritates long-term shareholders more than you can imagine. Nothing is more annoying when you literally wake up, or maybe you open up your phone and you view your stocks, and then you close your phone and then open it back up maybe several hours later, and then you see that, hey, your stock was up by maybe 5%. Now it's up by like 1%. You know, is the stock market just a scam? What's going on here? How could something be up by 5%? And then in a matter of 30, 45 minutes later, it's down. Well, if you are looking at even more volatile stocks out there, like penny stocks, a stock could be up in a matter of 30 minutes by 50, 100%. And then following that 30-minute period, it could be down by 20%. Been there, done that, seen a lot of crazy things in penny stocks. But what is really going on today? And like I said before, happy Friday. Hopefully you all are having a great day. This is going to be a SoFi dedicated video. If you're new here, welcome. If you enjoy my content, my very humorous style of content, definitely smash the like button. Subscribe for more if you want to see more of my videos and my personality. Some people don't really get my sarcasm because I'm not entirely sure. You know, I mean, it's a lot of the stuff that I talk about is very sarcasm in general, but you got to keep things real. Not to mention, I am a real person. I'm retail, baby. So the content you're going to be getting from me and on this YouTube channel, it's very much real talk. I don't really sugarcoat stuff. At the same time, I'm not really into super duper AI editing, because you should be able to really speak from your heart. Not to mention, I don't really need to incorporate a bunch of AI images in my videos. I can just have SoFi or whatever stock that I'm really talking about on the screen. But back to pretty much SoFi for today. So, what caused this nice little pop? Well, on the top of my head, there are many things that can cause a short little pop like this in any stock. And like I said a couple minutes ago, it is very frustrating for long-term shareholders to always see this. And the reason being is because if you're a long-term shareholder, you're in it for a long-term period, right? Getting a notification on your cell phone, your tablet, or laptop, or desktop computer saying that, hey, SoFi is up by 5%. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, cool. And then you actually log in and check your stocks, and it's like, wait a second. I thought we were up by 5%. What happened here? Now, it is a psychological game that you have to endure and battle if you are going to be a long-term investor. There have been days on SoFi. I've been buying SoFi since February of 2024. That's when I started to get invested into this company. And there were times during 2024 when I was building my SoFi position where SoFi was up by 10, 12, I think maybe even one day, 15%. And then the next day we ended up going down by literally 10% because of a lot of stuff happening with macroeconomics. Basically pretty much stuff in the economy, stuff outside of the economy. So this is definitely one of these unique situations where you have a stock where the management team continues to execute, but the stock price is so volatile. Now, why could something like this very much happen? Several different reasons. One, something happened within the economy at market open, and also, a couple tens of minutes after the market pretty much opened, there is some type of news being related. Shorts maybe are actually getting into SoFi. I'll talk about shorts a little more. I don't normally talk about shorts on this YouTube channel, but I kind of really got to start talking about shorts because the short interest around SoFi, it's very much higher, in my opinion, than where it should really be at for a company that is a hyper growth style of a company. You're talking about a CAGR, compound annual growth rate, of 30 plus percent. Shorts should not be pouncing into SoFi because long term, this stock is going higher, much higher. Okay, so shorts, economical news is one reasons. Not to mention, what are some other reasons why we might pop and then come back down? We very may be getting external news. Maybe something government data came out. So there are several different reasons of why something could very much cause a pop and very much cause a kind of like a sell-off in a way. Sell-off of the gains. We popped by 5%. Obviously, we are very much rebounding a little bit here. Now we're at 1.7%. 77%, my bad. Should we or could we close the day at 5%? Sure, we could. There's definitely been days where we've done that. A very key area, though, is going to be $19. $19 is going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle between bulls and bears. Why is that? So $19 is a psychological level for primarily options. Every 50 cent increment on SoFi is a resistance and support point. So we got to get above $19 and then we can hold that for support. The bulls are in control. If we break below 19 and if we break below 18.50, the bears are in control. So definitely keep that in mind if you're basing some type of buying strategy around SoFi or just loan any stock out there. There are psychological levels and there are battle levels that you're going to see a lot of volume coming in either direction, whether it's selling pressure, buying pressure. It works in both ways here. But back to what I was saying. Okay, so did we get news this morning? So I'm on SoFi's press release page. I always go directly from their website. We got news 2 days ago, actually 3 days ago. Today is the 10th. This came out on the 7th. I talked a little bit about this several days ago. But, I mean, overall, this is really good news. Now, would this cause a pop for today? I really don't believe so. And if we move on to the next one, let's check government data for today. Today, we actually did not get any government data. Hold on, I'm jumping way too far ahead. Yeah, so government data. Yesterday, we obviously got government data, weekly jobless claims. So the whole thing about jobless claims is that it's very much putting pressure on the Fed to very much not raise interest rates. So that is definitely very bullish for SoFi. Let's go to the AI investment survey. I really do like talking about this survey. In my opinion, I really feel that this survey is probably one of the better ones based around, every survey out there is based around algos, essentially bots. But this survey comes out every Wednesday. I actually didn't show this AI investment survey this Wednesday. More people are becoming more bullish short term, which is definitely good. I myself have definitely moved very much more to the bullish side short term. I am a long-term bull always. I believe in America. I am an American patriot. I'm a veteran. I love my country. So I'm always long-term bullish. But you can be short-term bearish. You can be short-term neutral. However, now I'm very much becoming short-term bullish. And the reason being is because the new Fed governor is very much moving the Federal Reserve into more of a independent stance and trying to take the Federal Reserve out of the spotlight and essentially trying to really bring the markets not to bet on the Fed. Because the last several years, the markets have just been watching the Fed way too much. We are 19 days away from the next Federal Reserve meeting. So I don't believe this at all. I don't believe, and this is my own personal opinion, I don't believe that we're going to be getting a rate hike come time 29 July. We got a ton of inflation data coming out next week. A ton of data. And oil has been lower in the last 30 days than it was the previous 30 days and the previous 30 days to that. The chance of a rate hike is going to drop substantially. And I really do feel that the Fed governor, Kevin Walsh, he's playing his own game of chess. And he doesn't just want to come out and say, hey, we have no rate hikes. He's going to let the data basically pretty much speak for itself. So why did we get a pop on SoFi? Well, we got no government data. We got no difference, in chances of rates. We got really no news. I even asked AI really much on the safe side here. Why do we get a SoFi pop this morning? Let's see. Google AI pop 5%, a combination of new product launches, tailwinds, broader macroeconomics environment, recovery from a brutal spring sell-off, new product innovation. Yep, talking about the Social 50 Income ETF. SY, that's basically the news from 3 days ago on the 7th. Macroeconomic relief, weaker than expected jobs, inflation data, reduced the probability of oh man, I'm so sorry everyone. Can't talk today. Got some word salad. Macroeconomical data release. Relief. Oh man, hold on one second. I gotta wash out my mouth. Technical rebound in sentiment. Technical rebound. I really feel that SoFi is going to be trading now on a lot of technicals more than anything, okay? We really cannot get any greater news. This stock is primed to go to 35 bucks. Yes, SoFi is primed to go to 35 bucks. When is SoFi going to go to 35 bucks? More than likely in the next 6 to 12 months. Maybe a little sooner, maybe the next 6 to 9 months. But SoFi is primed to go to 35 bucks. Why is that? Because the management team is executing. The products around SoFi are something that the markets, let alone the world, has never seen. There is nothing more that the management team can do. I'll say that again. There is nothing more that the management team can do. They are doing every single thing they possibly can. You even got the head of our company, Anthony Noto, buying shares on the open market with his own money. And I also buy shares with him. Whenever he buys, I'll be buying SoFi as well too. And I have many times in the last almost 3 years, almost 3 years now. Whenever he buys, I buy. He was buying shares all throughout 2024. I was buying with him. Right now, SoFi is just going to trade based on technical analysis. And this drives long-term investors utterly bonkers. So if you are a long-term investor like me, you got to endure the pain. I am very well seasoned where I can look at SoFi and I can say, okay, SoFi is up by 5%. I literally go and do other work on my computer, which I did. And then in a matter of like maybe 30 minutes, SoFi is down from that 5%. Okay, hey, SoFi was up by 5%. SoFi is down now by 4%. It is what it is. You're a long-term shareholder. You got to endure the pain. A lot of long-term shareholders, they get frustrated because they're like, why is my stock up by 5% and why is it down now by, it doesn't make sense. Technical analysis takes over. SoFi right now is very much, the SoFi stock price The stock price and the company are two different entities, okay? You can have a great stock price, a terrible management team. You can have a terrible stock price, you can have a great management team. A lot of people that say SoFi is a terrible stock, they ended up buying SoFi when it was trading at all-time highs. And yeah, if you got into SoFi when it was at all-time highs, SoFi could feel like a terrible stock. On my private profile, my average of SoFi is $7.41. I'm holding a massive position. On my public account, if you want to see my public account, I showed it yesterday. My public account I made, which is dedicated for this YouTube channel. I'm not going to get around to showing it today, but I did talk about it yesterday. Definitely go and check it out. And I'm also doing a $100,000 account profile challenge on this YouTube channel. So check out yesterday's video if you want to see my public account. I'll probably show my account again on Monday's video, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, technical analysis, that is where SoFi is basically pretty much at, like SoFi stock price is at its mercy. If you bought SoFi at the high, then yeah, SoFi could feel like a scam. It could feel like a terrible investment. It could feel terrible, right? I didn't start buying shares of SoFi again until it broke $25. And I've been buying shares of SoFi in the last like almost 6 months now because it's coming down. So I will post more, as I will be posting more educational content around how to value companies. But SoFi at all-time highs, it was overvalued. Now, because we have earnings catching up, now SoFi can very much go to $30, $35. And as long as the geopolitical events are gone, you're not going to see a massive, massive pull down like you did when it was trading, I believe, like a multiple of something very much higher. Okay, very, very much. I think we're on like a forward P of near 60. Don't quote me on that, but it was a lot, especially trading at all-time highs. But we have had 2 earnings since those all-time highs, and we're about to have another earnings. So this is what happens. A stock runs up, overvalued, crashes down, earnings catches up, and then we can go on a tear. So it's very just technical analysis. Now, why are traders essentially in control of SoFi right now? It's because oil is very much below $85 a barrel, but there is tension in the Middle East. We saw this week that there were strikes back and forth between Iran and the US, right? So there's still ongoing conflicts. If we can get all those conflicts to go away, you're going to see a lot of geopolitical bad stuff priced in be unpriced out. Once we get around all these new inflation reports, and once we get a solid couple months of oil below $85, which we will, we definitely will, inflation is going to come soaring down. The chances of rate hikes, snap of the fingers, goes away. If the market gets even a whiff of one rate cut, call me crazy, but I do see a possibility by the end of this year of at least one rate cut, because I really do believe that inflation is going to come soaring down. And why do I believe that? Because I've seen this before. I've been in the market since March of 2020. I was in the market all throughout 2022, 23. I saw how inflation did come down with rate hikes. And I did see that. It took a long time. I mean, we endured pain, but I have noticed how geopolitical events, they affect our economy. And it's not forever. Now, can these inflation reports stay elevated for the time being? Sure. But eventually they will come down. And when they do come down, you're going to have a stock like SoFi that is very much going to go on a upward tear. On a closing note for today, Yes, it is very annoying, definitely, to be notified on your phone or laptop, wherever, hey, SoFi was up by 5%, now it's only up by 1.37%. It's kind of really fighting to stay green. If you are going to be taking a long-term position in any company, this is not financial advice, this is common sense. If you are going to be a long-term investor, you got to endure the pain. There are going to be times where your stocks are going to be up, then they're going to go back down. They're going to be up, then they're going to be going back down. They're going to be soaring up, and then they're going to go down Chinatown. Traders do not like that level of volatility. Traders, they want to capitalize on that volatility. So, keep the numbers simple. Let's say you're a trader and you buy SoFi at 15 bucks. Okay, you could have bought SoFi at $15 like a little over a month ago. Now SoFi is at 18, 15 bucks. You're like, hey, you want to know what? I want to cash out. I'm up by 15, 20, maybe 25% on some pops. I'm going to take my profits and move on. That is your strategy. You are a trader. You do you. That's what a trader essentially is. And I mean, there are positions that I trade. SoFi is not a position that I would even remotely consider trading. But with that notion, if you're going to be a long, you got to endure these pains. So on a motivational close to today's video, don't get caught up in the noise very much like short term. I do understand it is very motivating to see your stock like SoFi up by 5%, and then you literally turn your head and you look the other way, and then now you're looking at SoFi and you're like, you know, what the frig? It's a kick in the chest, but once you learn how to take the kick in the chest, and once you learn how to deflect the kick in the chest, you're going to be a gigantic golden nugget. And that's essentially what SoFi really much is. It's a long-term golden investment for myself. I wish the best for anyone out there with your long-term positions, whether it's SoFi or any other stock. Good vibes all around. I'll see you all for a new video on Happy Monday. Stay motivated. Don't get shooken out of pretty much your long-term investments and your dreams and goals. See you all later. Bye.